Hello there, Only One Kenobi here, Only One. Welcome back to another episode of Only One Fans. And the first thing I want to do is address the very last episode I did of Only One Fans. I said at the end, I'd forgotten I did this, I said, please vote and comment with which of these figures you want me to open next. And loads of you did comment. These people here, Tony Z, Sci-Fi, Tim Hayes, Michael somebody, Darren Wedge, Chris Rooks, Shill2801, Blake, Buffy's Cave, Jimbo Fett, Darth Zach, Brickin' Out Loud. All you are going to be on the wheel later. We'll spin the wheel to see who will win an Only One Kenobi patch. But before we get into that, I'll tell you what else is up on this episode. We'll also talk about the Republic Gunship, just a few more bits of information, and hopefully in a fortnight I'll be doing an episode of Only One Fans Live, which will be, I think, maybe episode 40 if this is 39. And I'm going to have special guests on there where we'll have a look at the gunship, see where it's up to. We'll make that a live episode, have a chat about that. Plus also by then, I think the cantina will have arrived. So if this is Monday the 4th, I think Monday the 11th is when we're expecting the Haslab cantina. If it arrives then, I just don't know. We don't know. But I'm gearing up for that, ladies and gentlemen. So that's why I'm doing this episode now. I've not done one in months, and I have figures to open. And stay tuned. In this episode, we will be talking about the gunship later on as well, ladies and gentlemen. Some words of wisdom, ladies and gentlemen, from Daniel Chart. Unbelievably good idea for what should be happening, not just with this gunship, but with Haslabs in general. Brilliant idea. I'll share that with you later, and I'm sure he will also share that idea and talk more about that in the live stream in 2 weeks. But for now, what was said about these figures? Which ones did people want open? So let me go through them again. You've got Durge, you've got Wolfman from the Clone Wars, and then you've got Milium Onith. Very topical Cantina alien there. What did you vote for? Let's find out. So I literally cannot believe it's taken me so long. The last episode I did was an Easter special, for God's sake. So, what did people say? Where are the comments here? So, let's just scroll through them. Yeah, Darth Zach said, open Durge. Tim Hayes, he said to open the female cantina alien first. That's a little joke at the fact that I keep misgendering Onith. Keep saying it's a man when it's a woman. Darren Wedge says to open Durge first. Another vote for Durge from Michael Murray. That's right, it was Michael Murray. Blake Kemp says to open Durge. Another vote for Durge. Buffy's Cave says to open Onith. Brickin' Out Loud, Durge. Sci-Fi says to open the Cantina alien, except he also gives a little mention to Durge there as well. He said that might be quite good. And I also like the idea of getting that Durge loose. Jimbo Fett Toys, Durge. Shill2801 says to open... Well, he doesn't say anything. He just says, Wolf Mona. Gotta love Star Wars names. So I guess, is that a vote for opening the Wolfman? I've put it down as a vote. Chris Rook says to open Durge. Tony Z says to open the guy that rhymes with splurge. I love that. And that is it. I think I've mentioned everybody there. So it's definitely Durge, isn't it? Definitely Durge. Alright, so as you can see, it's definitely Durge. No question, but I'm going to do a nice little thing, ladies and gentlemen. Because I want to get Onith open as well, I'll open Durge, get him done. We'll cut to talk about the Republic Gunship for a bit, and then I'll finish by opening Milium Onith. I shall open her. See, Daniel? I didn't misgender. I'll be opening her later. Oh, pardon, as an actor said to the bishop. Is that appropriate? And as for this guy, I can't wait to open him. Or is this a girl as well? That's awesome. That's going to go very nicely. As will Durge on my Gandhi Tartakovsky Clone Wars shelf. Should we just focus on that? So you can see that? Look at that. I've got this brand new Anakin on there as well. The Anakin that came from that set. Really, really good because he comes with a cape. Perfect for a Gandhi shelf. I've got my shirtless Kit Fisto there. Durge will be awesome on there. And then, of course, he will be good as well. That's definitely 100% Gandhi Jedi. Right, let's open Durge. So here he is. It is a Clone Wars Durge, not the Clone Wars line that reflected the weird animation of Genndy Tartakovsky. You know, this is the realistic Clone Wars line. So it should be 2003, that's right. So same size car back as the 2002 Attack of the Clones line. And they had original trilogy as well for this, but this is the Clone Wars. Look at him. Drink him in, folks. Look at that figure. He looks like a Transformer. Look at that. Look at that logo. That's almost like... never noticed that before. That's almost like Grievous. Looks like a Bantha Skull type thing as well, you know what I mean? Look at that. What a great looking figure. Those accessories there. Separatist Forces. Durge, commander of the Separatist Forces. And as an Obi-Wan Kenobi fan, you've got to get Durge loose, haven't you? I'm going to bring him in now. This is the Obi-Wan that is just perfect for a Genndy shelf as well. There's a slightly red-haired Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's the reissue of the Attack of the Clones one, but the red hair means he's just prime for my Genndy shelf because he was slightly ginger, as you might remember. What's on the back? Let me just... Wow, there's loads of text there. Let me zoom in. Look at that. This 2,000-year-old bounty hunter. Wow, I'm not surprised he's that old. He's very hard to kill. If you remember from the Genndy series, you couldn't stop him. Look at that. He's like a cyborg, but he's not. He's genetic. He can heal his limbs. He was well weird, man. Quite scary when things regenerate like that. But it is time, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, that time, and your favourite time of any Only One Kenobi opening video. Oh, come on, man. What the hell? I can't do it in one. Oh, yeah, time, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yeah! How about that one? Look at that. Clean, man. Oh, yeah. And here is Durge. Wow, the packaging. Look at that, man. I don't have any other Durge figure. You can get one in the animated line. You can get one on a comic pack, which might be better than this, but still, I'm happy enough with that. Look at the chain there. Look at that. Awesome. These guns, whatever that thing is there. Wow. And you know what? Though I've been plugging him, I won't need one of your stands, Ian. That's another bit of new news. Ian Butler got in touch with me and he said, because I'm always talking about his amazing figure stands, you could put Durge on that, but you don't need to. He will have deep peg holes. I bet you any money. But still, if you want to follow the link in the description to Ian Butler's Instagram, I think, his shop, and if you use the code O.O.K 15, you'll get a 15% discount on these awesome stands, 3D printed, which are perfect for the modern figure line. Any figure that comes out now in TVC has really, really shallow peg holes. So any modern figure stand like that is no good. Let me demonstrate with this Snowtrooper. Yeah, look at that. You see, they don't go in like they used to. Not like Durge will. I bet you any money Durge will be fine. Should we try that now? Look at Durge. Look at that. Back when peg holes were deep, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? But now, these are great stands. You just put them on like that. And then you've got really good posability with these as well. So just thought I'd mention that. Back to Durge though. Wow. Look at that. Really, really liking that. And right, here we go. Got that chain there. Ball and chain type thing. Sort of vaguely remember him swinging that round. How about that, man? Has he got a removable helmet? Negative. Massive shoulders, though. The gun is in his hand, as you can see. Look at that. I love that. With old figures, they've got elastic bands that are just aging. But that will crumble away. He has more weapons. Let's have a look at these guns. I like the look of them. They look like kind of pirate pistols. They've got that sort of shape. I like that. And you get two of them. Let's just go down on that. Uh-oh. There you go. But he's got holsters, so I'm going to pop them in the holsters straight away. See if one does fit in the hand all right, like that. And get a decent pose there. And what the hell does this do? Does it just go on his front, does it? Let's see if the photographs show us anything. No, it goes on his back. Right. I see. Shows how much I know about Durge. I see. So he's got a little hole there. And this just fits right here. Got like a jetpack then, hasn't he? Look at that. That's awesome. Not as good as the articulation you get in modern figures, but tell you what. It's a decent figure. At least he's got a ball joint on the shoulder there. And what else has he got for articulation? There's no articulation in the knees. So it's very limited. It's only 1, 2. There's no chest. There's no crunch or anything like that. It's not even a ball joint head, I don't think. Just a swivel. But still, it's a good figure. It looks good. Look at the paint apps and everything like that are really cool. I like that. I like it a lot. I'm going to put both his pistols inside the holster so he can hold this swinging ball and chain thing. Which keeps coming out of his hand, actually. He's starting to annoy me a bit now because the backpack keeps coming off, and so does the goddamn ball and chain. So I'm going to just leave it there. I'm going to put him on the shelf. Where am I going to put him? Should we go have a quick look at this? This is one of the only shelves I've got in my life at the minute that isn't in disarray. Everything is all over the place in here, but I love the shelf though. You've got lots of stuff going on. Key events that happened in the Genndy Clone Wars. Anakin versus Ventress there. The Ilum quest. Yeah, loads of cool stuff that you can get for Genndy. But this guy, I'll just for now put him just there actually. Just in front of Obi-Wan. You've got Grievous there. Kit. Loads of stuff going on there. Clone Wars Anakin. The defense of Grievous. Not Grievous, Palpatine. Where is he? There he is. This Shaak Ti's fallen over. Yeah, Shaak Ti's involved with all of that. Right, folks. Don't know why he's there. Shouldn't be. Okay. Moving on.
Hello, mate. Yeah, with regards to the Haslab, it's going really slowly, isn't it, with backers? But then, of course, it will do because you're going to have a hell of a lot of people that are waiting to decide whether they want it or not. And you'll get a lot of backers at the end. You always do. As soon as it gets past 8,000 and it is backed and it's going to be made, you'll get a lot more people interested. Then, of course, you'll get the people that are only interested if all the tiers are backed. But the problem with Haslabs, especially the latest ones, but the way they work lends themselves to people sitting on the fence until the end, which ideally they want people to back it quickly. A lot of collectors who really want it. But ultimately, if I was going to back it, I would wait. I'd wait and see how it's going and wait and see what tiers are going to be met. And you know what I mean? It's common sense. I'm not going to just lob, for instance, if I lob 500 quid at it and it only just creeps over, let's say it gets 8,037 backers at the end of the thing, so it gets made but with no tiers, I'd be pissed right off that I've lobbed the full amount of money at it and I haven't got the full product. So they need to tweak. I think maybe they need to tweak this Haslab idea. You know what I mean? They should give you more for your buck at the beginning, and then add things on after the event. So if it gets past, don't tell us what's going to happen after 12,000. Tell us get to 12,000, and then we'll give you something else. You know what I mean? Because then the community can decide then if they want something else. Everything like the cantina, for instance, all those figures and the whole cantina set. That's what we should have got for the beginning. You're going to get the Tonicas, you're going to get Wooer, and then you're going to get the other 4 characters as well. And then, or maybe you're going to get the Tonicas, you're going to get Wooher, you're not going to get anyone else unless you get to such and such, and then we'll tell you what you're going to get. You know what I mean? I don't know, I'd tweak it if I worked there.
Well, there you are, folks. There's not a hell of a lot more I can say back to that. Really good points made by Daniel. And like I say, there will be a live stream in 2 weeks. Myself, Daniel, hopefully Mike from Solo Shot First. I'll reach out to Tim as well, Bosk's Bounty, see if he wants to join us, if he's available. But that'll be a good time to do a stream, another 2 weeks, see where we're up to with the gunship. By then we will have had the cantina, we can talk about that, and also maybe more people will jump on board with the gunship if they're satisfied with the cantina. But anyway, for now, my last video talking about the gunship did very, very well. 11,000 views, 11.4. So a massive amount of views. I've had a massive amount of comments. A few of them I haven't replied to every single one of them, but I thought it would be fun to just read some of the top comments to that video. So LAAT SW has put that the biggest problem with TVC is that they've been slowly pricing out people that aren't hardcore collectors. Prices just keep going up, and the people have less and less spare money. Sadly, I haven't bought any TVC since Django, and I used to pre-order nearly everything. Wow. Balexander000 says, I love the LAAT, but at that price point, it's ridiculous. The gunship should include 2 pilots, 2 bubble gunners, and 5 clone troopers for that price. Pirates of the Galaxy has said that I have 2 gunships, one of which is the TVC model, with globe turrets. No need to spend 450 on another one, regardless of how big or nice it is. And I totally agree with you, man, there. If I owned the TVC one myself, I probably wouldn't want to back this as much. It's because I don't have any version of this ship with the glass turrets, so I desperately want it in that respect. That old TV said, for me, I'm going to pass on the gunship. Like you, I really wanted a sandcrawler. A Haslab product has to be pretty unique, not something we've gotten a million times before in order for me to back it. Well, they were my sentiments entirely. Then you've got Star Wars Santa here. He says, ships and creatures are fantastic for the TVC line. These drive up demand for figures to go with them. I don't plan to back the gunship because I just don't have a place for it in my collection. But as a kickoff for the 2026 campaign for the Battle of Geonosis, this is an excellent project. Excuse me. I hope it does well and the bonus tiers get unlocked. Well, it's not doing so well at the moment. At the very end as well, I will tell you what it's up to. Random poster 5665. There is 0 chance there's $450 plus worth of materials there. It's about half of the materials of the Ghost and probably less than the Razor Crest. That's interesting. I'm disgusted by this, honestly. It goes against everything a Haslab was intended for. Very interesting comment there, my friend. Dennis Logan 9836. I'm not backing it either. I backed the Ghost and now there is one in my local comics shop that is selling for less than the retail. And then Hasbro wants to charge an extra $35 for not being a member. Yeah, it's a shame about the shipping as well, man. We've got have to pay shipping for this thing. Disgusting. Should all be included. Jerry Starchild, I backed the gunship. I'm honestly more excited about the gunship than I was about the Ghost. My friend, same here. The only thing about the Ghost I was looking forward to was seeing something that kind of resembles the Falcon and opening it up and seeing inside it. Checking out some familiar surroundings because I've seen Rebels. Not the biggest fan of Rebels. I prefer the Clone Wars, but I was quite excited by all of that. Now it just sits there looking pretty. It is what it is. It's not really my favourite item. Let's just read another one. At Nerdy Brothers says, I collect both Star Wars TVC and G.I. Joe Classified. I get that Hasbro has to pay a royalty to Disney, but man, look how much more value you get out of the G.I. Joe Haslab with LEDs, figures with a ton of accessories for $100 less. Definitely would have backed a lander shuttle or a sandcrawler, good man. Still cool, just not what I wanted. I still think it will back. Yeah, same here, man. I think it will back. I do think it's cool. I love the gunship, I really do. And I like the idea that it's bigger, all stuff I've said before. I hope it backs, but I'm really sad that people are not happy. And I've already told you all that I feel ridiculous about this, but I'll go with the price because I've dealt with higher prices on the secondary market. Scandalous prices for not just the shuttle, but for all sorts of stuff, man. The turbo tanks cost a fortune. Loads of vehicles for Star Wars are really expensive on eBay. So to that end, I think, well, you know, I can just about manage this, but I can understand everyone's points for it being cheaper. But then again, as this fella says, you have got the Disney tax. It always pushes the price up, doesn't it? Jeff Wise 8637 here has said, if you guys stand together and hold out, you can force Hasbro's hand and deliver more goods for the price. Think back to the Rancor. Never forget we have the power. He's very right there. That's probably what people are doing, man. They're just voting with their wallet and they've had enough. Maybe it's because, you know, we've had so many other Haslabs, Ghost, Cantina, that people are just thinking, nah. We've had so much, which is I'm grateful for that, for 3 3/4 inch and for TVC, but yeah. He says they aren't going to lower the price, but they will do something if the goals are not being reached. Remember, they have money in development already, and always may the force be with us. And there's tons of other comments on that video. I have to say thank you very much if you're new and you've joined my channel after I did that video. Apologies if I haven't replied directly to you, but I've been reading those comments. They are interesting to hear all your points of view. And thank you for interacting. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to end this episode of Only One Fans, let's do something a little bit lighthearted now and open a Cantina Alien. And hopefully a week's time, we will have the Cantina. Can't wait to get that and see what that is like. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. This will be the last segment of this week's episode of Only One Fans. Boom. Alright folks, so now figure number 2 to open. This is my Cantina shelf. It's very busy on there. I can't wait to get the Cantina to spread some of these guys out. Put them all inside the new Haslab diorama, which we're expecting on the 11th, I think, next Monday. But for now, let's open this figure. Must have this open before it arrives. She is called Milium Onith, Cantina Alien from the 30th anniversary collection. Great line of figures. So much bang for your buck. You get loads of accessories. Very affordable on the second-hand market. Let's have a quick look at this text. You can freeze frame that. Yeah, God, it even says this female. Amenth. My God, razor sharp tongue. Sounds like your wife, Daniel Choate. It's used in a deadly mating ritual. Oh God, wow. How about that? Wow. He looks like a bloke though, doesn't he? You know what I mean, Daniel? Bit like your wife. Sorry, mate. That's terrible. I can't believe I've just said that. Moving on. So I got this for £17. I got it from that geeky place, which isn't far from me. Not a bad deal, that, because sometimes she can go for a lot of money on the second-hand market, and you get a little bar stool thing. I've got a few of these already. I'm actually going to use them on my Attack of the Clones shelf for the Outlander bar, whatever that was called. You know, the Death Stick scene. So waste nothing, ladies and gentlemen. Get a nice little coin with this as well, as is always the case with the 30th. Should we get her open? Let's do it, folks. Let's look at the figures that you can also get in the line. I've got a fair few of them. In fact, I think I've got all of them. Okay, let's do it. Oh. Start again. Easy tiger. Here we go. Oh. Jesus, man. Come on. Get it together, man. Oh. Jeez. Let's go. Oh, yeah! Oh, they're flying out. What is it? Oh, it's just the barcode. Not lost anything, have I? Look at that. There's a bit of the floor there. Brilliant. I've got a few of them already. Have a look. See, that's what I mean. I've got a few of them. I've even got another one just sat there. But I'll do something with them. I could even make a Toshi station setup. You know what I mean? So inclined. Look at all these accessories, folks. Let's try and get her out of it. There we go. She's out of her prison cell now. And as is always the case, 30th anniversary is one of those lines that are just so good for paint application and everything like that. Look at this. Look at the quality of these figures, man. Limited with their articulation. Sadly, this is a figure that's got the swivel elbows, which are god-awful, but still good detail, man. And in this line of figures, there were ball joints. They were starting to introduce that. Even back in 2005, they had ball joints creeping in. The Dooku figure is a good example of that. Blue drink. Who else had a blue drink? I'm sure somebody else did. I think it was him, Ellis Helrod or Helrod. He has blue, but he came from the same line. Now you got to be very careful with these. I've cracked these before. They're a very brittle plastic, and when you put them on here, just be very careful. There you go. Corner piece. How about that? How about that? Very good. And let's get her out. She has the gun already in her hand, but there is a holster there, which is good. Yeah, she's got an elastic band on, so I won't disturb that. Very Tatooine pouches there. And the face, what is that? Is that a ball joint? Yeah, it is. Look at that weird face, man. Drink. So let's give her a drink. Ooh, is the hands wide enough? Hang on. Yeah, but it's crap. It's a crap figure in the sense that you can't, if someone's going to be holding a drink, you want to be able to have their elbows so that you know what I mean? Holding it up, not on the side. What about Ellis Helrod? Did he have these stupid swivel elbows? Let's have a look at him. Yeah, he did as well. Slightly different though, he's kind of in a sat position. You can't really sit her down, you have to have her standing up. Speaking of which, let's get her on a stand. She would work on any stand, obviously she's definitely going to work on this one of Ian's. Check out the link in the description, folks. See what I mean? Perfect. But, let me just demonstrate the old days of deep peg holes. So on a stand like that, you'll have no problem. Watch this. Boop. Deep, like that. So I use those stands from the old figures, but any new ones, there's no choice. You have to use something else. You just can't go on anymore. They're not deep enough. The modern TVC line is just, they do really shallow peg holes, so that's your best option. But there she is now loose. Fantastic. So here we are now. Here's the wheel. We've got Blake, Buffy, Buffy's Cave, Jimbo Fett, Darth Zach, Bricking Out Loud, Tony Z, Sci-Fi, Tim Hayes, Michael Murray, Darren Wedge, Chris Rooks, Shill 28. I've put 2891 there. I think it's 2801. Sorry about that. Shill 2801. Buffy, I think I've been round everybody now. All the best, ladies and gentlemen, and spin. And the winner is Tim Hayes. I love it. Yes, Tim. And only one. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Just wait for the applause, of course. Tim Hayes, an Only One Kenobi patch heading to you, my friend, long time follower of the channel. You've been following me, Tim, since at least when I lived in my old home, which goes back to at least 2018, maybe even earlier. Tim, congratulations. And now let's have a look at the gunship, folks. I haven't looked at it all of yesterday, but we will have a look now. The time is coming up to 10:30 in UK time, which would be, what would that be, 5 hours before that? That would be 5:30 in the morning for the Americans on the East. 2:30 in the morning for the Californians. So here we are. Hasbro Pulse. I can't believe that. It's only on... Oh, wow. My good God. You see, the thing is, folks, that all of yesterday, all of Sunday, I didn't look at it once. I really did expect that it would have gone over 3,000 now, but wow. No chance. That's quite unbelievable. I've backed one. I'm not backing another. No way. No chance. I don't have the space or the money. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. On that bombshell, we will leave it there. Can't wait to look at it in 2 weeks, where my guests will be Daniel Chart, Michael from Solo Shop First, hopefully Tim from Bosk's Bounty. I'm going to reach out to you, Tim, and see if we can get that one in the diary. Nevertheless, 2 weeks, Only One Fans Live. Bring it on. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I've been Only One Kenobi. You are my one and Obies, the Only One fans. Goodbye.